I would love it if they just like total left turn and one day it's just like, no, actually, me and Tails are kind of a thing. And you're like, whoa,
Well,
what? Oh boy, yeah, Sonic's dead.
cra-
I didn't see any rings
this is
pop
a
out of
crazy
him.
fight. Sonic and Sally break up because Sonic, he's like
Sorry,
he's
kid,
basically
but
in
I've
love
got a
with
job to do.
Eggman because he's like, I cannot stop.
Hello, welcome back to Honzy and Friends. I'm the Honzy, and I'm joined today by my friend from Screen Rant, Steven, the Sonic lore expert. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, and I'm still loving that Sonic lore expert title. It's going in my
Oh,
head.
well, it should, man. It's maybe your head will be as large as Sonic's one of these days. Um, but yeah, last we left off, we beat a big thick boy boss at the very last minute, and we'll just rush right into things. I think we're rescuing Amy now.
Is
Oh,
that
that's
you?
exciting. I know Amy is a very controversial
Hello?
figure
Is someone there?
in the
Help
Sonic
me!
fandom just
Hang
because of
on.
how she's
Maybe messing with
represented
the
in a lot
ruins
of
will fix
different
things.
series. So maybe it'll be a good place to start. I don't know.
Especially the games, like because I know I barely know anything about the comics other than what you've shared with us, and it seems like Sally Acorn would be a way better female character to put in the games, but she's been absent. I don't think they've ever put her into a game.
No, it's I mean it, it it's a really weird situation. Like I know that outside of the games, like with IDW, like Sega is open to or they're able to bring
Sonic, are
Sally
you alright?
and the Freedom Fighters
Me?
into the
You're the
story
one who's only
just
half here.
because there's no
I
copyright
feel fine.
with their
But that
characters.
energy that
It's
was
just
holding me
they
prisoner ran
haven't
into
done the
you.
green light. They
Eh,
just haven't given
I've
the
been a
green light
few
because
little zappy
the
stuff
main
before.
Sonic writer for
Besides, I
IDW,
feel like it gave me some kind
Ian
of
Flanagan,
boost.
he's talked about
Well,
how he's
in
open
that
to it and he's
case,
brought
we
it
need to
up,
get moving.
but it's just
If I was
something that
trapped, I'm sure Tails
hasn't
was
happened
too.
yet for whatever
Good call.
reason,
I'll scout around and
which
find
is
you
a
later.
shame. But
Deal?
what are you
It
gonna
is a
do?
shame. It's almost like they're afraid to like dive into the
Careful. Where's the
deeper,
fun in that?
darker like Sonic storylines for the games. It seems like they definitely want to like try to stick to just being as
You
simple and
are the
kid friendly as
key.
possible,
Be
which is kind of a
empowered with
shame.
this
I mean,
technique.
I feel like a lot of game series have either have chosen to not grow up with the audience, and they're kind
Right.
of missing out on it.
Yeah, and I know like a lot of it too. I mean, like the IDW. I mean, it's strictly like it is game oriented, so it has all those characters like Amy Rose and stuff. And I just feel like the fandom is so split. Like the people who love the games love IDW, and if they move away from that, and I'm guessing that IDW is just IDW and Sega is like scared of pissing people off because they could lose probably a lot of readership just because I mean it really is the Sonic fandom is so divided and it's
Yeah.
so toxic. It's just a very I mean it's not all toxic but just very emotional, which can is understandable. I mean I'm one of them. Um, but it's I mean I can see why they're afraid of doing it, but it's a shame too. Like at least it would be nice if they just if they didn't bring Sally back or the Freedom Fighters, like if they just made Sonic's relationship with Amy just better. Like because I mean I've had like
Something.
like I mean I'm just like
Just
I've
anything.
had like I've had a lot of fights like recently. Like there was a massive one on Twitter like that lasted for days. Those are people because like a lot of the IDW folks who are fans of it, they don't agree or they're just not willing to see the fact that like so the thing is, and I know it's like more prevalent in the games that Sonic doesn't really treat Amy that great. Like, Amy is obsessed with him, obviously, and Sonic kind of has this, later kid type of thing. It's like I'm not into you that way, and then you just ignore her and stuff.
Right.
And my problem is is in IDW, Sonic isn't being a jerk, but at the same time, IDW is undoubtedly aware of how a lot of people view Amy. Like and Sonic
Oh,
that
no.
he just ignores her. So if they're my whole argument is if they want to get rid of that, like if they want to just say Sonic is not stringing Amy along, they have to change it because right now it's just all we're seeing is that she's throwing herself at Sonic, and Sonic's is still being nice to her, and he'll maybe flirt back, but it just looks bad just because it's obvious that she's obsessed with him, and
Oh
Sonic is
man,
just
I would love it
like
if they just like total left turn and one day he's just like, no, actually, me and Tails are kind of a thing. And you're like, whoa,
well,
what?
only a great thing that a great YouTube channel, I think Sasso Studios.
Okay.
They have they have a bunch of videos and it looks really good. Like they have 3D models and stuff of the characters. It looks like they're from the games, and then it's professionally made. It's really well done, and they delve into a lot of dark subject matter. But like what ended up making me like Amy's character was how they were portraying her, because there was this whole long episode about how Amy's
We got a
she's
Chaos
so
Emerald.
sick. Oh, yeah. Like she's so sick that
Oh,
Sonic just isn't giving her the attention,
oh man,
or just
we
giving
got
her the
some
time of
lore
day.
dropping. I am
Oh,
totally interested in what you're saying. I'm not just.
oh, the yeah. So the what was I saying? So the
You're talking about the
In
YouTube
a
channel
digital
who.
dimension,
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I've
Yeah.
employed
yeah,
similar
yeah,
constructs
yeah.
in my own
So
systems, but
there was this whole
markedly
episode
more
about
advanced.
how Amy was like, I love you,
Note to
Sonic,
self,
but
don't
you've been
admit that to
moving.
anyone.
You're not connecting with
The
me. I
amount
need to
of
move
data
on, type of
stored
deal.
here
And it was kind of
defies
interesting
comprehension.
where she
Would you
ends
say
up
he wasn't moving fast
like,
enough in the
yeah,
relationship?
yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
But
So
it won't
she
stop
ends
me
up
from trying.
going out, and this is funny. She ends up going out with the Sonic from the movies. So it's there's the game Sonic in this universe. Is the game Sonic, and then there's the Sonic from the movies that have been coming out from um,
Like,
Paramount or
like
whatever.
the
Like
oh,
the
like the Ben Schwartz voiced Sonic
yeah,
movies. Oh man,
yeah. And so
that
there's that
guy
whole thing.
would love to get some.
He's just so lonely. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
he is.
And so it's the whole episode is Amy just saying she's moving on, and then Sonic dealing with his jealousy, like he's actually jealous over it, and there's a conversation
So
he's having with Tails
Sonic
where
is
Tails is like,
jealous of Sonic.
yeah, right, yeah, he's jealous of his movie counterpart, and Tails is like, if you want Amy in your life, you have to be upfront with her, like with your true feelings. And it's just even though that's not official canon, obviously it's just a YouTube channel. It's when I watched that, I was like, you know what, I like Amy now. Just
Yeah.
because there's so much potential. Like if they did that in the comics or in the games,
Oh
and they kind of
jeez.
did it in here in theaters, but if they
Well,
just had that dynamic, it would
it's
be
more of
so
just
good.
like making Amy an actual character who's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna put up with this. I'm gonna go do my own thing. I am a strong, independent woman, and I don't need no Sonic from nobody. Oh, hey, there's this
Yeah, and
hot Sonic from this movie over here, and like it's just it would be progress in a relationship that the games have chosen to keep stagnant for 20 years.
yeah, and it's just and I can see the comics are trying but it's really to shut down all these rumors like mine, or just to shut down my interpretations of it. They just need to move forward. Right now we're just in this limbo of, does he care about her, does he not? It's it just, they need to do it, they need to do it now.
Yeah, or just bring Sally into it, and then then they can have a whole jealousy love triangle thing start up.
Yeah, that
Like
would be good.
introduce
Well, because
Sally as like a new character, and then Sonic's just like, "Oh man, you're like smoking hot,"
well,
and then
and
Amy's
they
just like, "What
had
about us?"
like
Oh damn!
well, yeah, I mean, and they had they had all of that awesome goodness in Archie Comics too. Um, yeah, so there was this character called Mina. She's a mongoose, where you know, she ends up falling in love with Sonic, and there's this whole complication thing where Sally thinks that Sonic is falling in love with Mina, because there was a point where she wasn't allowed to see Sonic anymore
I guess that's
because
one
of
of the Titans keeping
reasons.
Amy
It was
trapped.
like, it was like it was a big she was like, all the times where she was finally able to see Sonic, Mina was with him, so there was that whole thing.
Okay.
And when over Archie, there was this story where there's a character called Monkey
You
Khan,
leave immediately.
and
Where'd you come
Monkey
from?
Khan ends up,
Are you trapped too?
because
Do
Sonic
not
and Sally
touch the
break up
Titan.
because Sonic, he's like he's
Sorry,
he's
kids,
basically
but
in
I've
love
got a
with
job to
Eggman,
do.
because he's like, I cannot stop
If we
fighting
approach
Eggman. I
it,
cannot
it
be in a
will
relationship
destroy
with you until I've defeated him. So he's basically choosing Eggman over Sally. So then Sally starts going out with Monkey Khan. So there was that whole thing. It was really
Wow.
well done, and that they just did that.
That sounds, it's like a love quad or love square, I guess, not a triangle.
Yeah, Love Square. Yeah, I mean, it would just be so cool. I mean, they need that.
Oh damn, I'm playing. Oh okay. Oh geez, Sonic failed. Oh, I
Love
guess
his hat.
just try again. Yeah, I've got like this free Monster Hunter DLC that I don't know how to unequip. Ah, damn it! The
You
camera's
don't know
not.
how to get rid of it.
No.
Hey, this kind of reminds me. I'm not a big gamer, but like, there's a game where like the whole thing is you have to climb up these giants and beat them. It's kind of similar.
Yeah, I think you're
What was that
thinking of
called?
Shadow
It was
of
a
the
game where, like-
Colossus. And Shadow,
Yeah,
I love
that
that
thing.
game. That's actually one that
I'm getting
got
that
remade on like newer systems, and it's stunningly beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh boy, yeah, Sonic's dead. I didn't see any rings
This
pop
is
out of
crazy
him.
stuff. Yeah, I know. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, grab some rings, grab some rings.
But yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing with Amy. Like, it could just be so much better. Like, at least, you know, IDW has been bringing in some really cool characters. Like, I think I talked about her in the last one, Whisper the Wolf. Like,
Yeah,
she is
oh yeah.
probably she's like probably one
Okay.
of my
I'm
top
not taking
favorite
that thing down the
Sonic
traditional
characters
way.
right now. She's just
I'm gonna need to
I'm
kidnap
just
someone.
like, she has a really great backstory
Maybe a little
too,
bit of
that
luck.
they explored it in the Tangle and Whisper mini series, where basically she was on like this anti-Eggman force. It was called the Diamond Cutters, and
That's a
one of
pretty
the
badass
members,
name.
Mimic. Yeah, I know, right? And one of her friend, like one of the members, Mimic, ends up betraying them, kills all of her friends,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, and so like, because of that, you know, she was able to survive, but because of that, she's has trouble connecting with people. So it's just so fascinating, because now she's you know, really good friends with, you know, Tangle, who's basically the complete opposite of her. Tangle is just like really enthusiastic, like, I want to be on an adventure, let's do stuff, blah blah blah. I'm really loud and obnoxious, and Whisper is, you know, just really, you know, like her name, she is, you know, shy and stuff. So there's all that conflict going on there. So like, there's some good stuff going on with IDW right now. So we'll just have to see where that goes.
Yeah, I just wish that they would carry that into the games. I think I've said it before, but yeah, just I would love some like gripping narrative drama in my Sonic games, but
Hmm.
that's I guess if I really want that, I got to start picking up the comics.
Yeah, and there's also and there was another big fight that came out over this.
Oh,
Like,
go on.
there's a new character. Well, actually, so Lanolin the sheep. So before one of the later issues, um, she was basically just a side character. Like, she would appear in some random frames, and now, you know, she's a major character. She just started her own group, which Tangle is calling the New Diamond Cutters after.
Oh, creative.
Yeah. Yeah, but then that ends up pissing off
Yo,
Whisper for
Amy.
understandable reasons, because she's
Who's your
still dealing
friend?
with their deaths. And it's like, why
Yeah.
would you do that? So there's all that drama. But so Lanolin, I'm really excited about her, just because she's an obvious, like, she's a really good leader type of character. She's really strong. Like, I was getting, this is what I was getting in fights with people on Twitter, that she's giving off some strong Sally vibes just because it's like she is a capable leader. She is able to keep Sonic in check. Like, Sonic's like, let's do this. She's like, no, shut up. That's a bad idea. And it's kind of like, we need that, because like Amy is a great leader too. Like she's proven herself like in early IDW, that like, because Knuckles was the leader, but then he ended up leaving because he wanted to go back to Angel Island, because when he was the leader of the Resistance, Angel Island ended up getting attacked by Neo Metal Sonic. So now he's like, dude, see ya, I'm back to Angel Island type of deal. So so when that vacuum happened, you know, Amy came on and is a great leader, but like she's still just like infatuated with Sonic, and it just looks bad. So so at least we have this Lanolin, who's a strong, you know, strong character, and she's not like just like
I better keep on my toes.
have all these negative,
Just like a passive, like, you know,
yeah,
Amy
and this is the
character.
problem, like, because like all of like the these new female characters in IDW, like they're either like they just have really bad stereotypes. Like Jewel, who's like a bug, is, you know, one, like a hero, but she's so scared of fighting. Like she hides behind a desk because she's not a fighter. And people are like, well, yeah, well, everyone can't be a fighter, but it's like, okay, but one, this is a fighting comic.
Oh, gotta go fast. Yeah.
And it just doesn't look. And it's like, why does it have to be a girl who skates?
It's like a Gohan Dragon Ball Z situation.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then we have Belle. I like Belle though. Belle the Tinkerer. Like, so I think I was talking about her last time.
She's a tinkerer.
Yeah, so well, she's called Belle the Tinkerer. She's a marionette, a wooden marionette. She was made by Eggman when he was a good guy, because he got his head hit and he lost his memories and became Mr. Tinker. So that's why he called Tinker.
Oh, all right. So that's his good guy persona.
Yeah, which is really cool, because I mean, her whole thing is, you know, dealing with the fact that her creator, Mr. Tinker, is basically gone now because Mr. Eggman is back. Dr. Eggman is back, so she has to deal with the fact that her father is never coming back, and she has to deal with the fact that the guy who created her is a monster. So it's like she has some great stuff, but again,
Steven, hold on a second, man. Hold that thought, because I think we should probably end. We're about out of time on this episode, but I'm incredibly interested to hear about Dr. Eggman's good guy persona, and more about that next time on Honzy and Friends.
Sounds good. Hopefully I won't rant as much. Like, I feel like I've been ranting. Like, I'm mad.
Oh, that's why we got you on here, man, to give us that Sonic lore ranty goodness. All right. We'll make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, definitely.